What am I saying? This is gonna be a funny blooper. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for joining. In today's video, I'm gonna be sharing my story about my Vietnamese wedding with you guys. So as you can see, I am dressed in my áo dài. It's red, it's from my wedding, and I just thought it would be appropriate to wear to film this video sharing Vietnamese culture. Please consider to subscribe by clicking the button right down there, the red one that matches my dress. If you're already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. And yeah, the first thing I'm gonna talk about is the photo shoot. So in Vietnam, and I think in China and maybe some other Asian countries, when you have a wedding, you actually do a photo shoot to get a wedding album. And for us, in our case, it was actually before the wedding. So I spent about 2 days in Vietnam, and then it was time for the photo shoot. For the photo shoot, I had to wake up at like 3 in the morning and go to the studio, and they did my makeup and hair, and they put like fake eyelashes on, which was ridiculous because I was extremely tired. And I was like, oh no, what are you doing to my eyes? So I went and got like everything done. Like the day before, I had tried on some dresses at the studio, so they packed them all up into the car or the van, and I had like some of my own clothes and then some clothes from the studio that I wore for the photo shoot. So we went out and we went to a bunch of different locations to get our photos taken. I'm just gonna be showing some photos on the screen while I talk about this, just so you guys can see. So in the beginning of the day, we went to catch the sunrise at the church here in Ho Chi Minh City. We did some other sunrise photos with the hearts. It was really cute. And then as the day got lighter, we went to different locations. So we have this blue scene in the middle of the city, and we took a ferry around, and we wore traditional clothes. So I had another áo dài on for those photos. And we went to this place with flowers. We went to a rubber forest. That was my favorite. So these are a few of my favorite pictures coming up. And then we went to a couple random places, and then we ended at the beach. So that was really nice to go to the beach and run around and get our pictures taken. And honestly, I just felt like a model the entire time. There was these two girls who kept redoing my hair and fixing my makeup and helping me change. And at that time, my Vietnamese was not good, so it was kind of awkward because I didn't really know what was going on, and especially having to get helped by Vietnamese people to get ready. They couldn't really tell me oh, come over here or do this or do that. I just had to kind of they would pull my arm over and be like, okay, you have to come over here. So that was interesting and fun. So that's the first part. That was the photo shoot. I think that was on July 10th. Then throughout the week, we were getting clothes made. So I got this áo dài made. And then I also got a white wedding dress. So I'll show some pictures of that too. But first, on July 19th, we had the traditional wedding ceremony. On the day of the traditional wedding ceremony, that was July 19th. So what happened was the girls, they came over from the photo shoot. They did my hair and makeup for me, and I got ready. Here's one thing that was different from America. So in America, you're not supposed to see the groom on the wedding day until it's time for the wedding. But for us, we were just getting ready together in the same room. So you can see a few pictures here of us getting ready. It was just really different, and yeah, so I put my áo dài on, and then he was kind of telling me all the different stuff that I'm gonna have to do during the ceremony. So he was explaining it to me, so we kind of did some practice rounds there, and then all the family came. So it's not really friends, it's just family. So the family came and they all sat down. It was at his parents' house in Vietnam. So we went around, and I had to kind of give the liquor to the people. So we started with the oldest generation all the way down to the youngest, and when I give them the liquor, it's kind of symbolizing me getting like initiated into the family, and then they would give us like a gift. So it could be just a red envelope with some money or jewelry. You can see here in this photo that I was getting like these earrings. I'm actually still wearing them. You can see them, right? I got these on my wedding day. I should be wearing my wedding necklace. I'm just wearing a random one. I have a necklace, but I didn't put it on for the video. But anyways, I had to go around and invite the elders to take the liquor, and then they would say some stuff and give us gifts. And it was a little bit like strange because I obviously couldn't understand every single thing they were saying. Like, I know what like 한국 means happiness, and thành công is like success, and like those things I could understand. But for me as a foreigner, it was just like all I was focused on was, oh, don't mess up like when you're saying the invite to give the liquor. So for the most part, that part wasn't like emotional until I got to one of my husband's cousins who spoke English. So they actually gave us some well wishes in English, and like I almost cried because, you know, it's my wedding, and that part actually really connected to me. I mean, you don't realize how connected you are to your native language until you're in a situation like this. So that part was really like, oh my gosh, like this is really my wedding. And then after we were done giving the liquor, we put the rings on. So here's my ring. Yeah, so we put the rings on, and then we were done. We were just standing there. You can see this picture. We were just standing there awkwardly. And then this next picture is his cousin asked like, so how does it feel to be married? And you can see we're just kind of looking at each other. So that was like a really special picture of the day for me, just because it's the moment like right after, and I remember it so clearly. So after that we ate. His parents owned a karaoke business at that time, so we went and we were like in the karaoke room, and the chef made all dishes related to goat because my husband's like zodiac thing is the goat. So we had like goat curry and goat hot pot and all this other stuff. We ate, and well, I changed to this cute dress. So look at the couple here. Yes, and then we ate and everything, and that was that. So you think that's crazy, but it's not even done. On July 31st, we had our wedding reception. So the reception, we went to a restaurant, and it was basically like 200 people, all of which were mostly his dad's friends and acquaintances, and then like 2 tables of Hui's friends, and then I actually had a few friends come, Vietnamese friends. My friend Quân came with his sister, and then I have a pen pal, her name is Nguyen, and she came with her mom. So that was really special, like for me to see people I actually know at my wedding. It was different. My parents and my family didn't come just because like they didn't have passports, and it was a lot, so I was okay, but it's just like, yeah. So then at the actual reception, we stood at the door. I was wearing my white dress on this day, and we had to greet every single person that came in and get our pictures taken with them. And then they all went in and they sat to eat. And then when they were eating, we had to go to every single table and say like, thanks for coming, and like have a drink, which I don't drink, so I didn't actually drink. Well, actually before the table thing, we went on stage. So here's a few pictures that were the highlight of the stage moment. Yes, see, the confetti came down. It was so spectacular. After we like, I fake drank because I don't drink, so we had to like pretend we were drinking the champagne and whatever like that. We did that. Then we went to the tables. The people were eating all the food, and we were just like, hi, yes, thanks for coming, whatnot. And then after the tables, we had to go out to the door again because people were leaving, and we had to say thanks for coming and say bye. So we didn't get to eat. There was a cake. The top layer of the cake was cake, and I cut it, and then the rest was like fake, so you just like pretend you're cutting down the whole giant cake. So there was no cake, there was no dancing, you know, all the normal American things. Obviously there was none. And basically after I was so tired, I went home and I went to bed. And then the next day we went on our honeymoon, which we went for 2 nights to a beach resort in Vietnamese. So that was good. especially after like being super tired from all the stuff we had to do for the wedding, because I don't know, it was just a lot. Like luckily we didn't have to plan anything because his sister did most of the planning, but it was still like, oh, have to be here, have to do this, have to do that, have to be ready and know what's going on. We are in America now. We had a party in America after our wedding just to like have everybody get together, and his parents came to the US to meet my family. So that's my Vietnamese wedding story. If you have questions about it, you can ask them below, and I'm gonna do a Q&A video probably in a month or so. So if you have questions and you want me to put them in that video, you can just ask them in this video, or later I will be having a separate place where you can ask questions. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're from Vietnam, xin chào. Thanks for watching. Cảm ơn bạn đã xem video của tôi. I'm gonna end the video now, so thank you for your support. Consider subscribing for more content like this. I make content about food, culture, language, travel, and those sorts of things. So if you're interested, check out my other videos and subscribe. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye!